Let's say hunker down.
Hunker down.
Hunker down, y'all.
Hunker down.
Hunker down.
Hunker down.
Hunker down.
Hunker down.
Hunker down.
Happy Festivus, everyone, and welcome to Hunkerdowncast episode 5. I'm Alli, and as always, we have Jeff and Varg.
Hi, Alli.
Hey.
Hi, guys.
It's great to be here in beautiful downtown Carrollton.
Whoa, Hollygrove, motherfucker.
Is this really Hollygrove?
Fuck yeah.
Do we have to get out the map?
West Carrollton?
No, this is non-shooting side of Hollygrove.
Non-shooting side of Hollygrove.
Yeah.
Where is the shooting divider between?
You go over Earhart, that's the shooting side.
Earhart is the shooting line.
Right.
And then, so, on one side of Earhart, you've got shooting
over here,
Hollygrove.
we got families, a peacock, a little pit bull with two short legs.
There's a lot a couple blocks away with, like...
yeah, with that, and during Halloween was a Halloween extravaganza, and now is a Christmas inflatable.
Yeah, there's like this menagerie of inflatable Christmas characters.
With chicken wire and stuff like that.
Behind a chicken wire. And like some of them aren't really Christmas characters. Like one of them is like Eeyore in a Santa hat or something like that.
Yeah,
perfect.
There could have been some leftover Halloween in there also.
Right, there was.
But that's the kind of thing that happens on the non-shooting side. It's a family-oriented time. Place.
So technically this is Hollygrove, apparently.
Hollygrove,
according to the resident.
Okay, well, I'm glad we settled that. And again, happy Festivus,
also,
everyone.
To Instagram geotags me in Hollygrove.
Oh, well, then there you go. There's the authority right there.
In the future.
Well, we've got a great holiday preview episode for everyone tonight. Instead of previewing, I don't know, anything reasonable, we're going to preview the holiday. And we're going to kick it off with some great reader questions. We got a lot of great reader questions. And our first one comes from TM Rupert on Twitter, and he asks, where should we put the statues now that they've been schlonged? And my vote is at the bottom of the river. What do you guys think?
Wait, what happened to the statues?
Well, we're gonna have a toppling party. We're gonna tear them down.
They haven't been toppled yet, but they have been what?
Schlonged?
Schlonged.
That was something that Donald Trump used in reference to Hillary Clinton.
Okay.
Right?
Wait, are we breaking this news to you on the
No, I was
okay.
just trying to get someone to explain it to me a little bit further.
I'm
well aware.
Offensive because he's a man and she's a woman, and he used the term for male phallus to describe something that had happened to her.
Right. In essence, it's just Donald Trump saying a thing to
reason
see if,
to hate him. Number, who knows?
Right. Just to see if people.
It's 1,000 and something or 10,000 and something.
I mean, Trump just walks around like just poking things and seeing if they react to them.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and people.
This time he poked it with a schlong. So
right.
that's
assault.
Yeah. In most states, anyway.
Can I answer where to put the monuments?
Yes. I'm sorry. We're off topic already.
Okay, I wanted to come up with, as soon as it started happening, a monument removal company in which my company would come in, pay for the removal of the monuments, all the security around it, send letters out to like Rand McNally and MapQuest and all those companies saying, hey,
Instagram.
it's been changed. Do some community outreach. Charge Mitch, I don't know, $5 million to $10 million or whatever to do all this.
Or Mitch's anonymous donor.
Or him.
Right.
Then we're going to take the monuments,
a dude.
Put them into a warehouse and awaiting disposal. Then we were going to wait around for the bring back the monuments movement to come, and then 20 or 30 years, and then sell the monuments back to the people who want to put them back up if the political tide ever turns.
So, and this has been your plan for a long time. I mean, since the moment this became a point of discussion, this was one of the first things that you mentioned to me about it.
Richard Branson never tweeted me back, and neither did Mark Cuban about my idea for it. So I don't have the venture capital to actually do it, unfortunately. But somebody else has probably already thought of it, anyways.
I mean, it's a widely thrown about conspiracy theory, by opponents of the monument removal
community.
Yeah. So they what you hear all the time is like, oh, somebody that Mitch knows is making money off of this. Somebody's getting paid to take them down.
Yeah,
Somebody,
I think that about almost everything.
it's the first thing you thought of as soon as this started, and not in a sense of let's find out who's ripping us off. Instead, it was, hey, I would like to be the person.
Yeah,
to profit
I'm
from
always
this.
thinking that.
Right.
Right. Like, I mean, right and wrong, I'm all down with that and everything. But if it's going to be wrong anyways, let's just make some money.
Yeah, how can you make it work for you?
Right. But I mean,
How
still
can Varg help Varg?
the monuments are coming down still. They're just, instead of getting thrown in the river, they're getting put in a warehouse, awaiting they're being put up somewhere when everyone goes, bring back history.
I mean, I think what's most likely to happen
back
to them is
history.
that they'll get put in the Confederate History Museum right next to the Ogden in the warehouse district.
Where
right
will
off
it end,
this-
though?
I love the way.
Where will it end indeed?
When they come for
Varg?
the Confederate Museum, then where will the monuments go?
I really kind of love the way over the years that corner, like where the Confederate Museum is now on the
Beautiful
corner of Howard Avenue and Camp. It's been overshadowed by the Ogden Museum.
Right,
It just kind of swallowed it.
the architecture of it is so much like, we don't like you,
Right.
We hate you. Get
And
the
then-
fuck out of
Well, the
here.
Ogden is great.
And then across the street,
Absolutely.
in Caddy Corner and across the street, the giant monolith of the unstoppable World War II Museum has
Right.
continued to develop.
National World War II.
Also
National.
great.
And it's gotten to where the Confederate Museum, if you go over there, it almost looks like, the Up House in Seattle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
where everything is developed around it,
Yeah,
and we've
or
just
like
kind of
that
surrounded
real
it.
people thing back in the day where they built skyscrapers around people's houses and stuff who just didn't want to sell.
Right.
Yeah, that's them.
So it's just
Stick into it. But it's a beautiful building, regardless of what happens inside. I've never been inside.
no, I haven't either. It's unusual looking.
Well, we had one other reader question about current events that I wanted to touch on. It came from Carl Schott, and he asked us, can you get Bobby Jindal booked, not hooked. We probably cannot get him hooked on the Hunkerdowncast, but we could maybe get him booked on the show as part of his farewell tour, or maybe even Supriya. So what do you guys think about that?
Well, now
do we
this
have
is-
an in? I don't know.
This is something that I wanted to do as soon as Bobby, the first Republican debate when not the first debate, but the debate where he said he was going to boycott if they put him at the kiddie table again.
Yeah, you wanted him to come down on the show and debate me.
I aggressively tweeted at him, please come on our show, Governor. And for whatever reason, that never happened. So
Aggressively tweeting never works for me either.
No,
I've aggressively tweeted before.
Who have you aggressively tweeted?
I tweeted at Mr. T a couple times. John Schneider from the Dukes of Hazzard, and I've started. Well, Branson got the most of them because every
Okay.
time I just had an idea that I thought would make money, I'd tweet at Branson and I'd say, "PM me, bro," at the end, and then
Slide into my DMs
he must not
with money.
not want money. I don't know. I mean, he must have enough. So I gave up on him, and I just typed entrepreneur into Twitter, found some other guy, and he never tweeted me back, and I'd never even heard of him.
if you
Entrepreneurs were starting to like the tweets that I was tweeting to Branson, so I'm like, oh, I might be onto something.
if you're looking for entrepreneur, just searching Twitter and you're finding people whose profile includes
Says
that word,
entrepreneur, yeah.
they are not. They are also the shark. They're not the.
Well, I got to get
They're
in
not
the water.
the whale, right?
Even
but
if it's with the shark, I need to get in the water.
what I
if I'm
mean is,
gonna
you're
do
not going to
this.
reel one of those guys in because they're also the ones out there looking to hook people. I guess.
Oh, and also their Twitter account is run by a 19-year-old communications intern.
Well, they don't have the ideas though. I have these ideas. I think I've forgotten all of them now though.
you should.
You need an idea journal.
One of them was that I would lend money to people who couldn't get anyone else to lend them money, which sounded like a pretty good one to me.
Wait, that's all of Wall
That was
Street.
one of them.
That's what crashed the economy the last time.
So
Let's do it again.
Right.
Be a loan shark. That was
Kind
your...
of, yeah. I think that was it.
I mean, the
Maybe
way
that's-
Okay.
the racket
I
there
forgot,
though.
there was a restaurant that I had a good idea to do, like the future of cuisine. I forgot what it was.
The future of cuisine.
Yeah, just like the next thing. Like, remember when everyone was making those like Brazilian meat
Yeah, but
popular a few years ago. It was like, this thing's going to be next.
So-
But I forgot what it
so-
was.
Hey, the Brazilian meat thing is coming next year.
wait.
By the way.
Dippin' Dots.
Yeah.
The ice cream of the future.
Why did you not get into Dippin' Dots?
Well, I mean, the ideas appear to me in line at the bank and shit. You know, they just come straight from the muse. I can't As soon as I saw Dippin' Dots, I was like, another racket gone. Wait, I did have something to say about Bobby Jindal.
Oh yeah, Bobby Jindal. So
Oh,
solid. First of all, before
What? How many days do we have left of Bobby? By the way, do we know? It's like
inauguration day
15
is
or something.
If Mark Maron can get Barack Obama, we can get Bobby Jindal.
Oh yeah, we're gonna line up Bobby Jindal. We're gonna line up Mitch Landrieu.
He probably lives
Yeah,
just throwing distance from Hollygrove.
he's not too far from Holly. He's on the shooting. He's on the non-shooting side of Broadmoor.
Yeah, every street's got a shooting side.
Right. I don't think the mayor's on the shooting side.
We'll have to have what's the shooting side episode.
He is on the car theft side, if you remember that.
Yeah, I'd rather be on the car theft side than the shooting side.
That makes sense.
It's a good trade-off.
So, but anyway, we're lining up guests for the new year. We're gonna have Bobby Jindal. We're gonna have the mayor. We're gonna have whoever else. Who would you like?
It's Engineer Pat, probably.
Engineer Pat's already performed for us one time.
It didn't
Yeah,
take long.
to great acclaim. That was very popular.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
his little
We got
acoustic?
some comments on that.
All right, we're
Absolutely.
we have to include more Engineer Pat. Then. I knew it was
Great.
going to happen. As soon as we started the podcast, I was like, sooner or later, Pat's going to play guitar.
My favorite thing about the show so far is that there are multiple occasions on which I have said or done something that a commenter on Twitter has said, "Oh, it was great when Pat said or did that thing," and I would like to keep that up. Actually, so
You're like the Bill Pullman, Bill Paxton. Of New Orleans.
exactly.
You should be definitely vie for Pullman, though. He is the cooler of the Bills.
Is that right? I can't tell.
think so.
Okay.
Paxton's kind of
I
geeky.
I can't tell them apart.
Nobody
True
can.
confession.
One was Chet.
Which one was in Twister and which one was in Titanic? Was it the same guy?
Nope. Twister was Paxton, and Titanic was... No, wait.
It was Bill
No, that's
Paxton.
the same guy. That's the
yeah,
same
yeah.
guy. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Bill Pullman was in Independence Day.
Independence Day.
Singles.
Okay.
He was the breast enhancement doctor in Singles.
So-
Okay, Singles is the movie that I haven't seen and that Pat yells at me all the time for not
Of course,
having seen.
because Pat is the epicenter of the 90s.
The most 90s guy of all time.
He is. He might be more 90s than me. and
That's
I'm
a
pretty
bad
fucking
movie.
90s.
Are there any other celebrity pairs that you can't tell apart? Because for me, it was it's Sean Bean and then this guy who was in one of the Mission Impossible movies. I can't remember his name. So
Sean Bean and the other guy.
the guy who looks like Sean Bean.
Okay.
Great segment.
I can't tell
I'm
the
killing it
Olivias
here.
apart. Olivia Moon and that other one. There's the one that's kind of newsy and journalisty, and then there's the other one who's like a good actress and stuff. There's Olivia Moon and Olivia Wilde. Oh, those are the two that I can't tell apart.
Okay.
I see Olivia. I don't
Olivia
there can
Munn
only
is the
be
one who's dating Aaron Rodgers.
and was on the Daily Show for a little while.
Yeah.
Okay.
Olivia Wilde was in Nick Kristoff's Half the Sky documentary.
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah.
I've seen her in a couple of things, and she's badass. And then a lot of times I can't tell any of those Kate Beckinsales and all those actresses.
Skinny
I can never tell
brunette lady.
apart. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one that was in the vampire movies. What are they called? The ones where they shot people and there was werewolf. I don't know.
Blade?
No, it was like that, but it was another one. Rise of the Lycans was called. What was
Wow. Rise of the Lycans.
Yeah, yeah, and it was.
Did you pull that out of the bargain bin at Family Video? Is that where that came from?
It was a chick with guns, and I forgot her name, but I know that Pistolette, her daughter, saw the chick with guns in the movie and said, "Look, it's mommy."
Oh, God.
A funny moment during the blogging days.
That's great.
Well, cool. Well, we're definitely going to get Bobby Jindal on the show to ask
Bobby
him
Jindal,
about these questions.
Bobby Jindal will be, in all seriousness, if you'd like to be a guest on Hunkerdowncast,
We're gonna start lining them up.
Yeah. Tweet at us, email us. All that
Email is
stuff.
probably best.
Yeah. You think so?
You got to be somebody though. Don't just let anybody come in. They got to come in and like have something that bitch it to us.
I mean, they let anybody talk on this show, so they might as well let anybody come and guest on the show.
Well, the Hunkerdowncasters get to talk.
But ideally-
Well, let's get back to the Twitter questions because we got some more of them.
Oh, I thought
right.
there was only 2.
Oh no,
No, there's a whole bunch of
that was our 2 for our first segment. Our
okay.
second segment, we're gonna go back to the well here, back to Tim Rupert with a question about will LSU get their act together enough to win the Tidy Bowl?
Is it the Tidy Bowl? I thought it was the Texas Bowl.
It's the Texas Bowl. I think he's making a joke about how it's a bad bowl, and so he's making a toilet pun.
Oh. So it's not doesn't have anything to do with a sponsorship or anything like that. It's
No,
just,
I think it's the Advocare Texas Bowl.
what the hell is Advocare?
It's
Those sponsors.
it's another
man,
Drew
be crazy.
Brees like creepy sports supplement company.
Oh, good. That's
Yeah,
good.
it's like the anti-concussion water that Russell Wilson uses.
Oh,
It's
Lord.
like that stuff.
It's not good for your plantar fascia, though.
Probably not. No, I think it's like protein powder or something. I don't know.
Hmm.
Advocare.
All right. Fair enough.
It's a portmanteau of advocate
Who are they
and
playing?
caring.
LSU.
They're playing Texas Tech,
Yes,
Who
they
has-
will beat them.
who has no defense whatsoever. So yes,
LSU will
LSU's
win.
LSU's going to win.
What do you call JB?
Well, I have no idea what's going to happen.
If you had a prediction,
I mean, I think I would favor the Tigers, but just because you guys are so confident, I'm not really all that confident.
right, like everyone.
But also, Texas Tech plays no defense,
Yeah.
which is the thing that we know about them.
That's their
And,
scheme. That's
yeah,
their
they
coaching
Yeah.
just don't even
They're
show up.
they're Big 12 all offense, absolutely no defense.
Right.
The coach said, "Hey guys, I'm going to pitch something to you. Okay, fuck defense.
Right.
Well, and their coach
Right.
is super hot, so I'm sure they listen to him really.
Super hot like Hanson.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
He looks like
damn.
Ryan Gosling. His name's Kliff Kingsbury.
So
Look him up.
he used to play quarterback. for
Kliff.
them.
For Texas Tech.
Yes.
And then he was the offensive coordinator at A&M, where he coached Johnny Manziel. And then A&M was like, hey, Kevin Sumlin, you're really good at your job. We're going to give you a huge extension. And then Kliff left to go to Texas Tech, and then Texas A&M has sucked ever since.
Wow. So, I mean, I wasn't all that up on his resume. I remember him from back in his playing days.
Yeah.
But his hotness has totally escaped me. I had no idea.
Okay, well,
Looks like Ryan Gosling.
looks like Ryan
Wow.
Gosling.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm not even really sure what Ryan Gosling.
He might be one of those guys. I also get confused with the Gyllenhaal.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know my Gosling from my Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
It's
That's,
the next generation of Paxton Pullman.
you got to get your G's.
Gosling Gyllenhaal,
The next generation.
2015. Who is that guy? Jake? That's his name?
Jake Gyllenhaal?
Gyllenhaal, yeah.
Yeah. I typed in Kliff, by the way, into Google, and it asked me if I wanted to look up Kliff Kingsbury and Ryan Gosling. That was the phrase.
Oh.
So
So let's look, put in the show notes, we're going to have a Google search for Kliff
Kingsbury.
It's Kliff with a
Kingsbury,
K.
and then we're going to add hot after it
Yes.
in the Google search. And that generally brings up, what you would expect.
Here you go, Varg. That's
Anyway.
Kliff. That's Kliff on the left and Ryan Gosling on the right.
Let's Kliff
Or
on the
excuse
left.
me, no,
I was about
vice
to say.
versa.
Oh, okay.
Vice versa.
Well, that guy looks a
That's
little
Ryan,
young to be a
Ryan
football
Gosling,
coach.
Kliff Kingsbury.
Here we are looking at stuff on our phones in the podcast again.
Yep.
He sure does look like.
That's almost a Daniel Tosh.
Yeah.
Who's the guy that looks like him for Alabama? Lane Kiffin thing.
Haha.
Lane Kiffin and Daniel Tosh look.
It turns out that the
And
man.
they're both supreme
yeah.
douchebags, so that's perfect.
The man on the left of your phone looks a lot like the man on the right of your phone, although I really wouldn't pick either one of them out of a crowd.
Separated at Birth edition of the Hunkerdowncast.
Right.
Well,
Where were we in this? Oh, so
we were talking about sports,
we're talking about the LSU Texas Tech game in the.
but we can
The
also
Tidy
talk
Bowl.
about the Saints too.
Well, first of all, the Tidy Texas Bowl.
Is that a question? Is there a question about the Saints?
We did not get a Saints-related question,
Okay.
but we're going to shoehorn it in here.
No,
Okay.
we're gonna get it all in. I had a point to make about all this. Oh, so Les Miles on his show this week, on one of the final, I guess, Les Miles shows featuring Jim Hawthorne, by the way, they talked about Les Miles's Christmas shopping habits. And so Les tells Jim that and I don't know if this is a surprise to you or not. Let me try and get the Oh, here it is. So Jim asked Les if he'd gotten all of his Christmas shopping done yet, and this is like yesterday or the day before. Mm-hmm. And Les says, "Nope, got nothing. Got nothing done. I take a run at the mall on Christmas Eve, and I do it all in like 4 to 8 hours," which is like the most Les Miles thing you could possibly
So his
do.
family probably gets shit, or he just goes in there and buys the most expensive thing. Like, what's the best Blu-ray player you got? Let me get that.
Right.
Gift cards for everyone.
Gift cards, right? It's a box of gift cards.
Those.
But it's the most Les Miles. It's exactly how he coaches the football team. Like they don't really know what they're doing until they get there, and then they just whatever's at the bottom of the bin. Oh, hey, here's a fake punt. Oh, here, let's
Spurrier-esque.
Right. And we already
just having fun out there.
We spent all our timeouts back on Black Friday anyway, and now at the end of the thing.
My favorite part of that interview was where he said that his favorite Christmas carol was Santa Baby, as sung by Eartha Kitt, which I thought was so perfect.
That is.
I can't even wrap a bow on that. It's just it's too perfect. It's too perfect.
So aren't we glad that Les Miles wasn't fired this year?
Oh,
absolutely.
I thank the Tiger Athletic
Praise
Foundation
be
every day.
to the universe and baby Jesus.
How would we live if we didn't have
They
this?
were going to take all the fun away. And y'all could have had some fucking boring ass, super serious
Sabanite,
yeah.
Yeah. It would have been terrible.
With some goofy ass name that wasn't even
another
cool. Les Miles.
Somebody
That's a great name.
somebody today was even writing about how SEC coaches.
Less smiles, more smiles. Has that joke been made?
No,
No?
I don't think it should. Maybe we should just go back
There's
and edit
more
that.
smiles now that Les Miles is still with us.
We're gonna edit that out in post.
No, we're just
I
going to
don't
let
think
the
that's-
earth swallow Varg whole after saying it.
That's going to happen eventually, anyways.
Somebody wrote something today about SEC coaches kind of recycling one another and how the SEC has become so obsessed with itself that you fire your coach, like your top 3 guys on your list are all like Alabama assistants or freaking Will Muschamp again.
Yeah.
So the theory there is that the rest of the country is going to pass the SEC by. Where
it looks like it's kind of starting to happen. We got one team in there, and it's Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
This is the dawning of the age of the Big Ten.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But I do think that
if we did knock each other out, we would all be up there. Let's just be honest.
I think this is just...
We eliminate ourselves.
It's time for Notre Dame to shine.
Oh, God.
They always shine, though.
Their helmets shine.
Right.
Hell yeah.
They work really hard on getting that gloss on there.
I think the Saints should get those helmets.
The Saints would look amazing in those helmets.
Yeah. There is a guy in the Dome who has one. The iridescent gold Saints helmet. And they need to take note. That shit is badass.
Speaking of the Saints, is Drew going to get shut down for the rest of the season?
I think yes.
Is that what's happening?
I think plantar fascia
His foot's done been
is
broke.
code for let the old guy rest. He's an old guy. We don't want to tarnish his legacy by benching him or,
He wants to play through it, apparently, though.
Yeah, he does, but
I can't
they're
even
like giving
imagine
him a rest.
how painful that is.
Well, here's the thing.
A member of Vibrio vulnificus had plantar fascia. Pucci
had plantar fascia. I thought he had I thought he broke a toenail.
He did that too. He's our most injured player.
Wow.
Yeah, he played through his, but let Drew Brees rest.
Well, I think
let them all rest.
Plantar fasciitis is different than having a torn plantar fascia, right? Like one is way worse than the other.
Well,
one of them sounds like it might be like a continued inflammation.
Like it's having it's like having a inflamed Achilles tendon versus tearing your Achilles tendon. Right?
Well, I don't know about that. There are people who say that once you tear the thing, then the pain isn't so bad. Like once, so if it's like a complete tear, it might be something that he can play on without any pain.
All right.
And
well, if you're a sports surgeon, you really need to tweet at us what the correct thing is.
Yeah, and I don't even remember.
Dr. James Andrews, wherever you in Gulf Breeze, Florida, my main man.
Yeah, I don't even know what the exact diagnosis is right now. I know that he was looking for a second opinion, whatever that means.
Why does he want to play 3 more games?
Because he's a crazy person.
Right.
But there are 2 more games. But he's a crazy person.
He's licking his fingers in that doctor's office right now. Thinking about getting in there and proving to him.
And this is like, this week, people were talking about how like this has been kind of a nothing season for the Saints. And I sat down and wrote all the things down that happened this year that were pretty entertaining for me anyway, as a person who watches every game.
We scored 7 touchdowns in a game.
Right. So that crazy ass Giants game when they scored 7 touchdowns.
Losing to a 1-6 team.
Which one was that?
Tennessee.
Oh yeah, that was like the next week, wasn't it? So they also
we snapped Atlanta's win.
The undefeated
first loss.
The undefeated Falcons came into the Superdome, and we beat them during a game when Michael Maudie blocked a punt.
Right.
And we scored a
Mandeville
touchdown.
High graduate Michael Maudie.
Right.
It was awesome.
Second generation New Orleans Saint blocked the punt and basically Gleasoned them and ruined their entire season. The Falcons.
They've never been the same.
The Falcons have never been the same since then.
They lost 5 straight after that, I think.
Right.
Something like that.
They're on the outside looking into the playoffs now.
What else happened here? So there was that game where Drew Brees sat out and he played an imaginary game.
Right, he LARPed it.
He LARPed. Drew Brees LARPed a game.
He did. He was in there, man. Also, there was a commercial about a backup really shining, and then the backup got his chance to really shine, and he almost did shine, except for the fact that he at the very end he lost that game.
Yeah, I mean,
and we almost beat that was the Panthers, right?
Yes.
And then we almost beat them twice, and we're one of the only teams to almost beat them.
We had those sons of bitches twice. Twice, and including the game where just by inches. That throw into the end zone was just by
Luke's
inches.
Game?
Yeah, Luke's game. Yeah. That last throw that was intercepted in the end zone by Josh Norman was by inches. And those specific inches are like Brandon Cooks' 5'10" versus like your normal receiver's 6'2" or whatever it should be.
True.
So
what you're saying is keep watching because there's always fun to be had.
Yeah, there's all sorts of fun things that happen. Just at the Lions game this weekend, there was at the end of the half. First of all,
Cook set a record, right? Had his best game ever.
He did. He had 124 yards. He's 7 yards away now from 1,000 yards for the season, so that's something to watch for this week.
Brees to Colston is one of the most prolific passing duos, or passer to receiver duos in NFL history.
Right.
And it might be his last season, Colston.
I mean, it probably should be. I mean,
should be, yeah.
We've seen him like pass some career milestones in the last couple of seasons, but we've also seen him drop a lot of balls.
Yeah,
and we've
he
seen
used
him
to have hands crazy.
And there are people I've heard this from other people, and I've heard this on Ralph Marlborough's podcast a couple times, and I've seen people write about this. There are kids who have grown up.
Hold on, Ralph Marlborough,
yeah,
and Bradley Warshire are also a Pullman Paxton for me.
What?
Yeah. It's
Holy
like a
shit!
You and Pat. Yeah, I get those guys confused a lot, and I've met one of them.
Wow, I'm gonna put that in the show notes because that's a big deal to me.
Wait, are you saying that Jeff and Pat are a Pullman Paxton?
Yeah, didn't somebody say that?
That's where we started this whole thing.
Every time somebody out there thinks that Jeff is Pat on this podcast.
Right.
Wow.
Just for clarity's sake, Ralph Marlborough writes for WWL TV. He writes a column for their website.
And does a podcast.
And he hosts a podcast called the Saints Happy Hour podcast.
And then Warshauer writes for Gambit sometimes.
Yeah, Bradley writes. He has his own website called Black and Gold Review.
Right. All that stuff.
He's parlayed that into a little gig where he writes for Gambit.
He's a stats geek.
A little bit.
Stats and
he's also kind of a lit geek. I think he's a
nice guy.
I think he's
when
actually
I met him, he was a super nice guy.
I don't really know.
I sometimes get those two confused.
I don't know Bradley all that well.
Tell you this: I never make fun of Southern Miss football anymore after reading the stuff he's written about Southern Miss.
He's a great writer.
Very, very good stuff.
No, he's a really good writer. I would not confuse him with Ralph, though. I think though all I would say they are
It
two.
might be It might be sometimes I get kind of confused when consonants and vowels follow the same cadence in people's names. Then sometimes I start to I don't know, maybe I'm on the spectrum or something, because I look at when I see that sort of thing, my mind just pushes it all together.
That's the brain is a weird thing.
There's also the other Brad sports writer, Brad Handwerger.
Yeah, I don't think he's active right now as a sports writer. He's
okay.
he
I'm
kind
thinking of Twitter then.
Yeah, well, we
Are
don't.
we still supposed to be talking about sports? Or
We are. Then we got into some kind of a side conversation
because
Yeah.
timekeeper Alli.
Let me. Can I
We're
finish?
doing a
30
big
minutes.
We're doing
right
a big
now.
combo segment.
Can I finish?
okay.
Can I finish this thought?
Sure.
So the reason we even brought up Ralph in his podcast in the first place is because he specifically said that there are kids these days who only know Marcus Colston as a piece of shit has-been player. Like there are
Fucking
kids,
millennials.
there are kids who complain about him
Fucking
as the worst
millennials.
player on
Not
the team.
millennials.
And no, it's
Well,
not.
what's the next one then?
I don't know.
You said kids these days, and when I hear that phrase, that means fucking millennials.
I'm a
but
millennial, technically.
Kids, I mean, fourth graders or whatever.
Are you 30?
Yeah.
Then
All
I
right,
mean
guys.
whatever the other one was. Whatever's after you.
We're gonna take a break, and we'll be right back with more Hunkerdowncast.
Do, 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 do.
On the 5th day of Christmas, we stopped at A&G for fried onion rings.
For your got me nuts, 3 French breads,
2 Jack's recipe.
for the crawfish they caught in Arabic.
All right, folks, welcome back. We're about to start our holiday preview segment here, and we're going to kick this off with another Twitter question from Tim Rupert. Again,
Tim asks a lot of questions of
Tim's
us.
got the best questions. And so this question says, what is the best holiday recording by a local artist? I have a very strong opinion about this.
Yeah, so I know that you have a strong opinion, and I know that I know that you have an opinion.
Mine is super serious and everything. It's going to be a bit of a downer.
Okay, I'm ready for that.
Well, let's start with the downer.
All right.
Okay, there's a song by the Happy Talk Band called Nativity, and I think they're the Luke Allen, who is the lead singer and the songwriter for Happy Talk Band, is the best singer-songwriter in New Orleans right now, even though I don't think he's really writing a lot. But he does a song called Nativity, which seems like it's a Christmas song. It talks about the Christmas legend, but it's probably, maybe it is. I don't know.
Okay.
It is a Christmas song, but I have
Okay.
lots of Christmas songs that aren't Christmas songs. So.
Yeah, I know this about
Nativity by the Happy Talk Band is my favorite
you.
local Christmas song, Tim Rupert.
Okay. I guess we should let Alli answer this question now, too.
I think the 12 Yats of Christmas
Oh,
is the greatest thing ever. I love it. It's corny. It's hilarious. It uses the number 4 in a homonym type sense in an abbreviated version of the word before, which I guess is an antecedent clause. It's amazing. It's got grammar puns. It's got fried food. It's got local beer. It's the greatest. It's one of the greatest Christmas songs ever. In
Yeah.
addition to being a local Christmas song.
It's difficult to analyze that song or experience it in a vacuum or from young eyes, I guess, or ears, I suppose at this point, because it's just such a cliche now. It's just such a thing that
That's
you
kind of
hear.
why I like it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a familiar
I'm
thing.
fine with cliches.
Because it's just
doesn't bother me at
it's
all.
so corny. It's so corny.
Is it Benny Grunch and the Bunch?
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, what's great about that is that they modernized it when they did the "Ain't There No More" supplement,
Really great song though,
which was also
corny, cheesy,
also a Christmas
but
song.
awesome.
But you don't even need that because you just go back to the 12 Yats of Christmas, and most of the 12 Yats of Christmas themselves ain't there no more.
Sure.
Because there's you got Schwegmans, and you got
K and B.
It mashes up.
right in the
He
Tenneco
mashed up
refinery.
himself. He was so through the looking glass with his creations that 2 of his songs merged without him even knowing about it. Yeah, 12 Yats of Christmas.
Benny Grunch.
Solid.
Misunderstood genius.
What's yours, Jeff?
I don't even have one. That's why I was hoping that you guys would.
I have some honorable mentions.
Okay.
Lindsay Zoriski does one called Christmas Stalking, which is about a girl who stalks her lover around Christmas time. And then Debbie Davis has one that I don't even know the name of. I probably could have done some research on that. But I heard it on OZ the other day. I think it's rather new. And then I heard her sing it at the cathedral, but I'll save that for Are You Not Entertained?
All right.
It suddenly occurs to me that I did do that this week. I went and saw a concert at the theater, at
There you go.
cathedral.
Do we want to preview our actual Christmas plans? Do we have plans for Christmas?
I'm just trying to hang on.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just trying to survive the holiday. We were just, actually, during the break, we were having this side conversation where we were talking about how difficult it is to just kind of, like, make extra effort to experience anything anymore. And that's how I feel about the holidays. Like,
It would help if the weather kind of cooperated and got us in that, like, that mood in our psyche.
Oh, this weather's
Because
been garbage.
It helps for it to be cold outside. Baby, it's cold outside, you know?
That
Not
song
baby,
is
it's
terrible.
Yeah, it's bad. And I've heard it's rapey also.
It is rapey, yeah.
But
the
it's not
weather
cold outside. Baby,
Right,
it's raining outside. Baby, it's mosquitoes. This is bullshit.
Baby, it's hot and humid, and I can't make any type of cold weather stews or anything like that.
No,
It's
you
ridiculous.
can't have...
I can't do cold weather cooking in
No,
this. I can barely turn
no.
the oven on.
well, you know,
It's
actually,
utter bullshit.
this year, we convinced my parents to, allow us to do something different for Christmas instead of, just doing the Thanksgiving meal over again, which is...
Is that the usual thing?
Yeah,
for y'all?
usually we'll do a turkey at Thanksgiving and a turkey at Christmas and the same oyster dressing and everything. And, like, it's gotten to me to where, like, Minkles and I just went out and got our Christmas tree the other day. And on the way to get a Christmas tree, I just was looking at her and I just said, didn't we just do this last week? Like, Christmas it feels like it was just last week. And so everything, like, last year feels like it was last week. And it's even worse to, like, try and get your mind around doing Thanksgiving a second time within the space of, I guess, what would be a couple hours.
It is
on the
totally
scale.
Thanksgiving again.
Yeah.
And when I go home, that's the way it is. There's a table, everyone gathers around. We eat basically the same food we ate at Thanksgiving. And none of it, I hope my mom doesn't listen to this, but none of it super, it's all just middle of the road, solid food. It's like cafeteria food. What are those little cafeterias you go to where you line up with the trays? There's one over there.
Piccadilly?
Yeah, like they're like Piccadilly food, Nothing super offensive.
Okay.
Nothing. And again, I don't know.
I'm not complaining about the experience itself. Like, I mean, it's gotten to the point where I do most of the cooking now anyway, and I enjoy it. Like, I like making oyster dressing. It's like I'll stand in the kitchen all day and cut stuff up and
Gives you something
play
to
with
do,
that.
though.
I
It
enjoy
might be
it.
nervousness.
Nah, I like to cook.
Well, you don't have to talk to people, your family and stuff
You
like
talk
that.
to people. You talk to people.
Yeah, but at least you're doing something while you're doing it. You don't have to look them in the eye while they
That's
spout all
not-
that bullshit to
Nah,
you.
that's not true.
Usually we go to Georgia for Christmas, and this year we're staying here because we did all our traveling to Asia earlier this year.
Right.
And also my parents were in town this past weekend because I graduated from LSU, so they came in for commencement.
By the way, congratulations to Alli,
Congratulations on your
Thank you.
graduation.
who is now a master of, the universe. Right?
Yeah.
They give you a big sword with that?
Yeah.
You wear a loincloth?
Oh man,
That comes with it?
That would have been a lot better.
Do you want to talk about the program you just finished, or you just want to?
I got an MBA.
Yeah.
So
Congratulations.
I'm a Master of Business Administration
From prestigious Louisiana State University. Yeah.
and Agricultural
Go Tigers!
Agricultural College.
There you go.
Yes, the one and only. And I got to see Mike right before I went into the PMAC for the ceremony.
Mike the Tiger?
Yeah, he was curled up taking a nap right by the edge of his of his palatial enclosure. So I got to walk up and be like, "Hey, Mike."
Did he give you? He gave you a wink.
Me.
No, he was asleep. It was awesome.
Okay.
He was curled up like a cat,
Aw.
napping in the grass.
I would have
awesome.
demanded my money back. I would be like, "I'm graduating, Mike. What's up?"
Yeah, you can't like roar at me or nothing.
Right? You can't say, "Hey, nice going, kid."
I was just glad that he wasn't.
Mike's proud of you.
Inside, I
No.
got to actually see him.
Mike doesn't give a shit anymore.
He's the best.
Yeah.
He's just the best.
I kind of hate him.
But anyway, so we convinced the family that we are going to, instead of doing Thanksgiving Part 2, we're going to do something interesting. We'll cook something different. We'll go, I've got this plan to make a big beef stew.
Hey.
And it's going to be 90 degrees.
Yeah.
So,
Is it really going to be
Beef
actually
stew
90?
and 90 degree heat.
it's going to be Christmas in the goddamn jungle.
That sucks.
Right.
You need it to be cold
That's
for
bullshit.
beef stew.
No, I know. It's
I don't know why the human psyche is like that, but those hearty stews.
What's Christmas Day? Friday? Yeah, it's a high of 79.
That's a lie. 79. They're just trying to make you feel better. It's not 7. It's going to be 80 something.
Yeah.
That's retarded. But it's just Christmas in the jungle. Get ready for it. Right, we're sitting here right now.
Am I supposed to sing again?
I don't know. Is there a song that goes with
Christmas in the jungle. Yeah, right?
that? Yeah, that's good. I like it.
All right. Well, with that,
Wait, I have a confession.
Okay.
I hate Mr. Bingle.
Really? What do you have against Mr. Bengal?
I guess it's because
He's
I'm
too
a
white?
pre-Katrina. That's probably it. I'm a pre-Katrina transplant.
Uh-huh.
I guess you just had to be there for him, because when I see him, I'm just like, oh, God.
he just reminds you too much of Peggy Scott LaBorde. Is that it?
No, because I kind of like Peggy Scott. I'd like to take her out on a date.
Let me tell you some...
I don't think Errol's hitting it right.
Wow. Let me tell you some...
Uh-oh.
That's...
I was joking, dude. I was joking. No, really, I don't think he's
Jesus Christ. I was about to...
She'd be a fun date. I'd take her
Christmas
out.
in the jungle.
I was about to rattle off some facts about Mr. Bingle. First of all, Mr. Bingle never owned any slaves. Did not...
I did not know that.
Right.
He's a better man than Mitch Landrieu, too.
Yeah, he's a better man than Mitch Landrieu, apparently.
He doesn't support ISIS.
That we know of.
Right.
But we'd have to have, access to his password, I guess. Anyway.
Who owns him? Whoever bought Maison Blanche?
Well, currently he's like the physical Mr. Bingle, the thing.
Who owns all that shit that goes along with it?
The gigantic Mr. Bingle fortune.
The icon that is him.
No, I don't think
The unrealized icon. That
Who's
is
yeah.
the heir to the Bingle
I don't
fortune?
think there is one. As far as I know, the piece belongs to City Park now. Like the actual physical Mr. Bingle.
What does he do?
Well, he was a
And Rudolph leads his sleigh at night. And
yeah.
Frosty the Snowman doesn't melt. What does What does he do?
Well, Mr. Bingle originated in pretty much the same way Rudolph did,
Who I also hate.
as a commercial icon, like as a mascot for a department store. And so Mr. Bingle was the Maison Blanche
So Western
mascot.
consumerist bullshit that's been
Yes, but
pushed upon us.
But adorably local. It was like it was a local department store, and he has the same initials as Maison Blanche.
Mr. Bingle.
And he came
Maison
on. He even
Blanche.
became a
Y'all
beloved,
think about other things that also have the initials MB and get back to us.
All right.
My balls.
I'm not gonna.
All right.
I'm not gonna recount the goddamn story of Mr. Bingle for you.
We were
Okay.
drinking whiskey earlier. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, let's move on to our new and popular segment. Are you not entertained? Because the three of us did a particularly entertaining thing
We did.
earlier this week.
Together.
Last week.
The group.
Last week. It was last week.
Entertainment.
We all went to the Superdome to watch the U.S. women's national team. That's a soccer team. The World Cup, 3-time World Cup champion U.S. women's national team play the People's Republic of China in a friendly in the Dome. And it was a pretty cool game. It was Abby Wambach's last game, which, as it turned out, was a pretty emotional deal. Everybody was really emotional, played with a lot of heart. And
there were scores of supporters for her.
Tons. We packed the Dome. There were like, I believe the official count was just under 33,000 people in the Dome.
Right, there were 32,900, something like that.
Yeah, so let's call it 33.
I would like to point out that Abby Wambach is, in fact, a Florida Gator. And
Gator bait!
That answers yet another one of our Twitter questions this week. And
yes, from Shermsy, who asked if Varg was a Florida Gator.
I never
fan.
went there, though, but my high school was the Escambia Gators, and our colors were orange and blue, and Emmett Smith did go to our high school. So I am a Gator, but just not a Florida Gator. But I do pull for them.
So the answer is Varg went to the same high school as Emmett Smith.
And I was the Gator. I was the mascot.
Oh, what?
Yes. I dressed as a Gator.
Wait
It's a breaking news siren.
I was the Gator mascot, and I hung out with the cheerleaders, and I'm just going to come right out and say this because I wasn't always, if you look up court records in Pensacola, you'll see that what I'm about to say is not going to be like mind-blowing, but I tripped acid in the Gator suit back in the day when we played Washington. And I jumped around in the little Gator suit while on acid, and then everything was fine, and then I took the hat off, and I was like, oh my God! I'm totally tripping.
I'm so entertained right now. You have no idea.
My friends talked me into it. And then a few years later, y'all can read it up. You know, if you just go look at the court records in Florida, that I saw the error of my ways.
So wait a minute.
I got rehabilitated by the state of Florida.
How did the
and
legal
I'm okay
system
now.
come into play here? Like when
You got arrested?
you took your hat off and
Yeah, I
said, "I'm
got
totally,"
arrested for possession of the same stuff.
because you admitted
Lysergic
it.
acid?
Yeah,
You declared
A lot of
yourself. Yeah.
as a yeah.
Okay.
And but that's how much of a Gator I am. What's your friend's name?
Sherms.
Sherms. That's how much of a Gator I am.
Hardcore
I felt
Gator.
it like deep within the synapses of my brain as I portrayed the mascot against the Washington Wildcats.
Not only is Varg a Gator,
Back
he's
in the
also a Florida man.
I do believe in the
FLA.
FLA.
That is,
I don't live there
I mean,
for good reason, but I'm from there.
tripping acid.
Do you have outstanding warrants for you in the state of
Not anymore.
Oh, okay.
I
Not
just
anymore.
tripping
It all
acid
got
and
sorted
dressing up
out.
like an alligator is just about as Florida as you can get.
Yeah,
Pretty
I had to
much.
leave Florida because I got in too much trouble there, which is what. And then I moved here and I straightened myself out. I guess if you consider what I'm doing now straightened out. But I haven't been in trouble in a long time, so everything's cool.
Wow. Well, I don't know how we can go back to talking about the soccer game after that. Except
Well-
the fact that we were all there.
What I liked
it was
about
fun.
it,
I
was
liked
fun.
the pace of it because it was you didn't have to stop and watch plays, and plays didn't start, and it
Yeah.
was just all the way through. You could watch it all the way through.
what I enjoyed about it was that we were there for. We were able to witness history. It was like, how many games in a row had the U.S. national women's team won on American soil before this match?
I believe it was 106.
Like 100 and something, and they lost this game.
Yep.
While the three of us and 30,000 something other people were there to see it
Nola
in
RR
the Louisiana
and Ken
Superdome.
Armstrong.
Yeah, so it was.
Ankles.
And Roz. Oh, yeah, you said that.
We were there for an historic moment, and I don't even know who to blame for it exactly, other than the fact that Bronze Tom is sitting out there laughing while we were walking out.
It's definitely Bronze Tom's fault. But also it's because they kept trying to get the ball to Abby Wambach so she could get a goal in her last game. And it just, China wasn't going to like roll over and let her score. And it was totally obvious that that's what they were doing. And so instead of having an actual game plan to win the game, they had a fake game plan to get Abby a goal, and it didn't work. And then by the time they subbed her out really late and actually got some stuff moving in the last 20 minutes of the game, it was just they didn't have enough time to do it. All the shots were a little bit off, but I still had a great time.
Fun. Oh yeah.
I think it was also
way more exciting.
Really cool to see all of the like middle and high school girls that were in the dome for that game from all over, probably from multiple states. Families, but just all the ladies that were there it was really cool to see. So we did that.
It was really great to watch them all get disappointed.
I wasn't actually disappointed. Like, we didn't win, but it almost felt like it didn't matter because this team is still going to be so good and we're still going to kick everybody's ass. So
we were really close too, thanks to Engineer Pat for getting us the tickets. He brought us together for a really fun night. We got to see each other and experience something. And the game was really physical.
Yeah.
Like, being as close as we were and seeing it. You see it on TV and you see people kind of trip and hit each other and stuff. But if you're really there, you really see just like, wow.
You can see how strong they are.
Getting their asses kicked out.
Totally.
Well, they punch each other in the face a lot. And I enjoy that.
They run into each other and they trip and they like, ooh, you can hear everything. And I had a really nice time.
Yeah, we had terrific seats because there's only 32,000 people there, but that's a big crowd.
They announced it as like 72 inexplicably.
No,
the announcer said that.
You guys heard that wrong.
No, I heard that too.
Oh. He did, and I was
he said 70 something, and it was like, no, that ain't right.
No,
he was tripping acid up there. That's what he was.
He was dressed as a gator.
Were any of you guys entertained by anything else in the last couple weeks, or was that pretty much it?
I went to see a concert at the Cathedral, one of their free Christmas concerts, and the sight lines are really bad in that place.
Okay.
Like, you can't see what's going on. If you're not right up in the center of this historic, oldest cathedral in America, then you just can't see anything. They should have designed it more like the Superdome, I think, with no sight lines. I don't know what those Catholics were thinking back in the day.
Yeah,
the concert was really good. It was more local musicians, so I was hoping it would be a little bit more rootsy. It wasn't. It was very, heralded and whatnot, which I guess, you can expect in the cathedral and whatnot.
Was this the first thing you've seen in the cathedral, or have you been to Mass there before, or have you seen other assemblies or events or
I want to
weddings,
say I've
perhaps?
only walked in there and then just sold a shit ton of art in front of it.
Yeah. It's
and tripped acid a few times, no big deal.
It's a shitty venue.
I'm kidding, of course.
It is. The cathedral
you can't see.
And everything I've been to there has been kind of...
I always get weirded out when I'm in the Catholic churches anyways.
Right.
Even as a young boy, I would go in there and be like, this ain't right. I ain't about this. Even as like a 4-year-old, I was like, something not right here.
We're just trying to make the point that the St. Louis Cathedral
I didn't know we were trying to make a point.
The point is that the St. Louis Cathedral is a shitty venue.
It's a bad venue.
Yeah.
Stick to the Howlin' Wolfers.
Right. Go somewhere else.
And I guess that's all I did then.
I graduated, so I was at the PMAC at LSU in Baton Rouge. That's a pretty cool place. The Pete Maravich Assembly Center.
Continuing with Alli's Are You Not Entertained Outside of New Orleans?
Yep.
She's our world reporter.
Globetrotter.
International reporter.
Well,
entertainment venues.
I won't have occasion to go to Baton Rouge every other weekend now, moving forward.
Are you sad about that?
No, I'm not sad about it.
There's going to be rail, though, soon.
Someday.
According to the new governor.
Yeah.
The governor-elect, I mean.
It won't go to LSU unless they change the alignment, from what I've seen.
So, Alli, you graduated in the PMAC.
I did.
Outside of the PMAC is a statue of Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, it's on the other side from where I was, but yes, I've seen it before.
And we went to the...
life size?
Bigger.
Larger than life, which is substantial.
Yeah.
We went to the soccer game, and outside of the Superdome is a statue of Tom Benson.
Right.
Which one of these monuments should come down?
I believe we've talked about this before, that we need to tear down Bronze Tom and get at the creamy nougat center of Bronze Tom.
I just
bust it open like a piñata.
I just feel like most of the evil emanating from like the heart of like Louisiana these days is coming from Bronze Tom.
Absolutely.
Like that,
It was the moment.
He's cursed us all.
We're fighting over these Confederate monuments, which I think should come down, by the way. But like, if we really want to strike at the heart of the demon, we need to take down. We need to topple Bronze Tom, and then we need
to put the Falcon jersey back on Michael Kanan.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
All
but
right.
just for God's sake, before something really disastrous happens, we need to get out and take down Bronze Tom. And that's if no one takes anything else away from this episode, I just want to make that point as clearly as I possibly fucking can. Because I'm sick of it.
That statue does suck.
Yeah.
Although I think fucks all statues. I think nobody should have a statue. That'll solve everything.
No.
Just no statues.
No, that wouldn't make me happy.
Well, who deserves one? Mr. Bingle?
Mr. Bingle's a good one, yeah.
Ignatius Riley?
Fictional characters, yes. Let's give them the fictional
Steve
characters.
Gleason has one.
No real
that's
Yeah, I
pretty
like
good.
Steve's statue.
All
right.
Rate the statues. But anyway, yeah, fuck Bronze Tom. That's
Fuck
all
Bronze Tom.
Fuck
And
Tom's Braun.
Right.
And
We're
let's
gonna put a Drew Brees jersey
let's take
on.
a quick break, and we'll come back with Recipe Minute and Jiveware.
Whoop!
I've seen you weather like a winter storm.
All right, welcome back to the Hunkerdowncast. And for tonight's Recipe Minute, we have Varg, who's going to tell us about a recipe. So, without further ado,
Our recipe tonight is it's a Manhattan variant, which I call a Jesuit, because Jesuits settled Plaquemines Parish, where the citrus that we use in this cocktail that we're about to make it's best if you use Plaquemines Parish citrus, generally from a Becknell. They're the best. So it's a regular standard Manhattan. You got your rye whiskey, Sazerac style, to keep it real locally. Some Martini and Rossi, sweet vermouth, some bitters, any brand. You put you mix it the way you want to mix it. If you want a little bit more whiskey, put a little bit more whiskey in there. If you want it a little bit more sweet, you put a little bit more vermouth. But you mix. I had one already.
Okay, a little bit more whiskey.
You mix whiskey, sweet vermouth, and then I use frozen cherries because they're the easiest to find. But if you can
Is that what
find
those
like
were?
real cherries, they're much more meaty and they soak up the whiskey at the end. But if you can't find them, use the frozen stuff in the bag. Whatever you do, don't use the maraschino cherries that you get with the grenadine.
That is
It's
gross.
total crap. It reminds me of like Shirley Temples or Roy Rogers. It's trite and cheesy. Don't use those. You mix all that up in a shaker, but to make it a Jesuit and not a Manhattan, you use Plaquemines Parish citrus, which tonight we had to sub Apricot Street blood oranges for, because there's a tree growing right outside with them. You shake it all up, you strain it into a martini glass. Some people use like rocks glasses or Marie Antoinette's. I prefer the martini glass. And then you drink it. It's a Christmas drink for me. I don't drink Manhattans any other time, only around Christmas, because it seems, New Yorky. And it's like beef stew.
It's got brown liquor in it, which
Yeah.
is very holidays.
Cherries,
Very wintry.
Citrus, for whatever reason, citrus is very Christmassy.
Very good.
And it's a beautiful little drink. I prefer drinking it listening to Johnny Mathis also.
We didn't do that.
Jesuits are good listening to Johnny Mathis. That's also Christmassy.
we'll
I
have
don't
to-
know why.
All right.
Next time.
Was that a minute?
Oh,
More
yeah.
than.
Fuck it.
This-
And so that is the recipe minute.
All right, and Are we ready for the jive wire?
Yeah, let's go right into the jive wire.
Let's go
We're
right in.
Strong on Varg here. Bringing it up. Not the master.
So mommy kissing Santa Claus.
The Jive Wire is sponsored by Magnolia Builders because we build it better and is brought to you at the oddest of hours. The Steamboat Queenie hosts Cali Calliope at sunset.
All the time.
Shambulas features the Tulane Medical School Brass Band at 9. Muttering Bills features Gutter Punk Tampon at 8. The Central City Golf Club hosts the Uptown Cougars at 8. The Apple Bottom Bar hosts Gaseous Clay at 8. Frat Larry's hosts Napoleon Avenue featuring Construction Zone at 9. The Night of Joy hosts Toppling Party at 8. Butt Cheeky Wawa hosts Sarah with an H at 10. The bar formerly known as the Smoky Bar features Stabbed Ray Davies at 10. Sporto's Sports Bar features Plantar Fasciitis at 9. The Audubon Boulevard Bar features the One Percenters at 10. The Girard Cemetery Bar hosts Streetcar to Nowhere at 10. Mondays in Mandeville features Cultural Gumbo at 7. The Pink Elephant hosts Fred Eye Dick at 10. Betty's Pub and Grub and Rub and Tug features the Happy Endings at 10.
Oh, God. You got to know the password.
The password is Bronze Tom. Irvin Mayfield's Jazz Library features the Ann Rice Krispies at 8.
Watch your wallet.
Liberia features Spoken Word with Remy A. Odell at 10. Ruthie's Duck Lady Lounge features Gumdrops or Fire Ewoks at 10. The Back Room at Leather Bar features So Long Solange at 10.
Wow.
The
Or
Strobe Light
schlongs.
Lounge hosts Meg Lestat at 10. The Sober Roz Bar hosts Drunk Roz Fest featuring This
Drunk
Biscuit
Roz Fest.
Though, The Pompadours, Vespa Life, Gay for My Dogs, I Love Coal, Chop the Damn Egg, Fuck Checks, Piglip, and Crunk Crown starting at 6.
Damn, give me into Drunk Rosfest.
Terriblicity hosts Frankie Facund, acoustic show at 9. Lars Lounge has Hazy Day Popeyes at 10. Fitbits has You Can Hear Blood Splenda at 8. To get your gig into the Jive Wire, tweet to Hunkerdowncast or email hunkerdowncast@gmail.com.
And now,
All right.
get out there and
Support and enjoy.
Some live local music.
Man, that was awesome. I really feel like we nailed it this episode, you guys.
We're getting there.
We crushed it.
We got a master list now.
Is this the self-actualization
We
portion of the
self-actualized
show?
the Jive
Well,
Wire.
I just want to thank everybody who's been tweeting us, who's put a review up on iTunes, who's emailed us. We appreciate all of it. Again, tweet us at Hunkerdowncast. Our email is hunkerdowncast@gmail.com. Our website is hunkerdowncast.com. We're on iTunes. Apparently, if you just search for Hunker Down, you can't find us. But if you search for Hunker Downcast, there we are. Subscribe,
Cheat
rate,
code.
review, share. We appreciate all of it. And we'll see you guys next week.
Sorry, Errol.
We love y'all. Merry Christmas.